Most of us think of music as a form of entertainment, the background of a car ride, a study session, or a celebration. But in reality, music is far more than just sound. A few notes can bring back memories we thought we had forgotten. A melody can raise our heart rate, change our mood, calm our thoughts, or make thousands of strangers feel the same emotions at the same time. Think about the last time you heard a song that you hadn't listened to in a really long time, and suddenly you went back to where you were, who you were with, and what you felt at the time. It's as if music can time travel through our minds. So why does something invisible have such a powerful effect on us? I've been playing piano for 10 years, and I've always been fascinated by a question that goes beyond physical performance. What really happens in our minds when we listen to music or play an instrument? Music acts as a biochemical catalyst, deeply influencing the way our brain works. It releases stress by lowering our cortisol levels and reduces anxiety by releasing dopamine, which is the reward chemical, and serotonin, which helps stabilize our mood. Even the rhythms in music mimic our internal body rhythms, which can cause involuntary physical changes, such as changes in heart rate and breathing. But think about movie soundtracks. Imagine watching the final scene of a movie with no music at all. It would feel so flat and incomplete. Now imagine that same scene accompanied by a compelling soundtrack. It changes the whole meaning of the moment. Music doesn't just accompany emotion, it shapes it. The way our mood is affected by music depends on the type of music that we listen to. By listening to slower or more predictable music, we calm down and relax. But while listening to more upbeat and fast-paced music, we feel more energetic and excited. Before going to sleep, most people tend to listen to calmer music to help their brain slow down and reset. But before a workout, an exam, or a competition, people tend to listen to more energetic music to help them stay focused. But music doesn't only influence how we feel, it influences why we feel. Our brain is constantly making predictions, even with music. When a song starts to play, we start to anticipate the next note or rhythm. If I played a scale on the piano right now, and played every single note except for the last one, most of you here would feel uncomfortable, even if you knew nothing about music. This is because the brain expects resolution. That is why, when the chorus of a song finally arrives, we feel a sense of satisfaction. It's because our brain has been waiting for it all along, even if we weren't aware of it. Let's see how this looks like inside of the brain. On the left side, we can see a picture of the brain when it is not listening to music. The activity is more focused in one area, related to basic thinking and rest. While on the right, we can see that when the brain is listening to music, it lights up. Areas related to movement, memory, and emotions. Music is one of these few activities that can make your whole brain simultaneously work together. We can use music to our advantage, as a tool to rewire our brain, depending on what we need it for. Let's say we had multiple tasks to complete for the next day. While working on these tasks, we would listen to instrumental music, without lyrics, to help us maintain our focus. During the short breaks between these tasks, we would listen to more upbeat music to help us combat fatigue. And then, during longer breaks, we would listen to our favorite songs, which would help us mentally reset. We can also use music to challenge our brains. By exposing ourselves to new or unfamiliar genres, we can encourage cognitive flexibility and expose our brains to new patterns. Let's say one person only listens to one specific genre of music and starts listening to jazz, classical music, or even traditional music from different cultures. They would start to notice a shift in their patience, attention, and even their listening habits. Music also plays a very important role in social connection and human bonding. Music existed for groups long before it existed for individuals. From ancient drumming circles to modern-day concerts, humans have used rhythm and melody to synchronize emotions and actions. Think about a concert where thousands of strangers are singing the same lyrics. All the differences between them in that moment disappear, and they are connected by a shared emotional experience. Music can also affect communication beyond languages. Even though we don't speak the same languages, it can convey so many different emotions, from sadness to joy to anger to hope. Think about how we often share playlists with our friends and play music depending on our mood, and play a certain song repeatedly during a certain stage of our lives. Music truly becomes a part of who we are. Maybe music was never just a form of entertainment. Maybe it was the best way in which we could understand ourselves and others. It shapes our identities, our emotions, our experiences, and our memories. Reframing music as a tool, and more than just a form of entertainment, allows us to appreciate its abilities to shape our identities and experiences and memories. Now, allow me to demonstrate how music really can affect your mood.